I want to hear your thoughts on Chelsea getting absolutely demolished to Brighton 4-1.
It was a pathetic performance. It was pathetic.
It was more than pathetic. It was absolutely horrible.
You would expect, Chelsea, obviously Graham Potter came from Brighton mid-season to join Chelsea. You would expect the team to be more fired up to get him a win against his former club. However, it was the exact opposite. Chelsea came out, they were lethargic. Brighton, they came out like a team that was motivated as ever to win this game, and Chelsea was the exact opposite. They were lethargic. They looked uninterested. It just wasn't what you expect from a team as quality as Chelsea and a team that they're Brighton are a good team, but they're not Chelsea's level.
That's what I wanted to say. Brighton, from the start of the game, brought the press, bro. They were pressing hard, bro. And Chelsea, like you said, they were just looking like they weren't as prepared.
Yeah, I think that comes down to the manager. But, in terms of the players on the pitch, Chelsea are still the better side.
Without a doubt.
I'm going to get into the decisions that Graham Potter made tactically, and I think he failed ultimately. But as soon as the whistle blew, there was only one player on that Chelsea team that looked actually motivated to play, and that was Thiago Silva. You have to give him credit. But you have no doubts that Thiago Silva is going to be that guy because he is. He's a legend of the game. He gives his heart.
Great center back.
He gives his heart and soul to the pitch every single time he steps out. The same can't be said about a lot of those other Chelsea players. However, the problem right now with Chelsea is tactically. They switch formations and they switch their players so much right now. There's no continuity and consistency in that team.
They don't know what they're doing.
I don't think Graham Potter even knows what he wants to do with this Chelsea team. I'm not doubting Graham Potter as a tactician. I think he's a genius coach for the most part. We saw what he could do with Brighton when given the proper time. However, I think he's still trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do with this Chelsea team. I think he's still trying to figure out which players he likes, which ones he doesn't, which ones suit his style of play, and which ones don't. And I think all of that is tough to do mid-season. So it's hard to really, really get on him because he's doing it's a difficult thing that he's doing right now, doing all of this mid-season as Chelsea still have those high expectations of making the top four, competing in the Champions League, which they just qualified for the round of 16 for. They have the highest expectations, and Graham Potter's still trying to figure everything out. However, today specifically, Graham Potter got it all wrong from the very beginning. As soon as he dropped the lineup, you're playing three at the back. Cucurella, you sign him for $60 million. He is not a freaking center back. I don't know. Last week, he got subbed off within, 35 to 40 minutes because he was playing terrible at center back. And then you put him back. This week, he did the same thing. And it didn't work again. He's just not suited to play there. However, that wasn't even the worst thing that he did. The worst decision I think I might have ever seen, playing Raheem Sterling at left wing back and Christian Pulisic at right wing back.
Oh, that's crazy.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Pulisic, what?
Wing back, man. It was pathetic. To sign Raheem Sterling and play him at wing back.
He did. No.
Yeah. That's what he did today. You look at that.
Bro, he's a goal scorer.
If it worked, we wouldn't be criticizing it, obviously. But it didn't work. It failed. Chelsea got thrashed down the wing. If you look at those Brighton goals, for the most part, a lot of them came down the wing. The third goal that they scored, which was an own goal by Trevor Chalobah, Christian Pulisic let his runner just run right by him. Because he's not a defender. He's not tracking back. He's not a good man marker.
That's not his bag.
It's not his bag at all.
So how are we telling Graham Potter what's his player's damn bag?
It's just ass. The front three that we put out today of Kai Havertz at striker, Mason Mount, and Conor Gallagher, I don't know how many times they have to say it. He scored today, but let's not act like this goal makes up for the fact that Kai Havertz, he scored it midweek in the Champions League, but let's not act like Kai Havertz.
This shit's going to work forever. It's not.
He's not a striker.
Exactly.
He's not a good striker at the end of the day. Mason Mount has rejuvenated his form, although he wasn't great today. I'm not going to criticize him too much. But as an overall unit, You can't go into a game, like a tough game against Brighton, and think that Kai Havertz, Conor Gallagher, and Mason Mount as your front three is going to work.
Of course not.
It's just not good. When you got Raheem Sterling, Pulisic playing there, but they're playing as wingbacks.
And I know it's too early to judge Graham Potter's performance. However, out of the last 3 games, I think he should have won 1.
In the Premier League.
In the Premier League.
I think this was technically his first loss, I think. But, like, obviously the performance, I think we might have drew, stuff like that.
I'm saying overall, like, yeah.
Yeah. I see the sentiment that you're trying to make. I think we can all agree he tactically got it wrong today. And although the players played shit, I think you look at this 4-1. You can't look at it for too long if you're as a Chelsea perspective, because you got to move forward onto the next games. But tactically, it was bad. Players on the pitch, it was bad. They tried to switch formations mid-game. It didn't work. They've got a lot of figuring things out to do. However, I know it's tough to criticize them. Well, you can criticize them for the way they played as wingbacks today, but they're not wingbacks. But even when they're not playing their wing-back position, they're playing winger like they actually want to play. Raheem Sterling has been absolutely abysmal since joining Chelsea. And it has to be said. Did I expect him to light the Premier League on fire and be absolutely unbelievable for Chelsea? No. But I expect more than what we've got so far.
We thought he was going to be a great addition.
And right now, I don't know how many times I've had to say it. He has just not been a great player for Chelsea this season so far. He's not been what I expected.
Do you think Potter is just not utilizing him?
I think
or just using him the way he needs to be used?
I think some of it, obviously, when you're playing him at left wing back, obviously, you're not going to get the most out of
that. Literally, it don't sit right with me. It doesn't sit right with me.
But even when Raheem Sterling was playing winger for Chelsea this season, he has not been playing how we want him to play. He's not been clinical in front of goal. He's not been the guy making decisive passes. One moment that sticks into my head was, I think it was in the Champions League on Wednesday or Tuesday. I think it was Wednesday. I think it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. So in the Champions League, the cross comes in. Raheem Sterling is right there. He can either finish it himself or the cross back in for the tap in is wide open. And he failed to do either one. He messed up the touch, and he made a bad touch, and they were ultimately able to clear it. That sums up Raheem Sterling as a Chelsea player so far. He's not been clinical, been utilized out of position, but that's on the manager. But even when he is in the proper position, he has not been decisive nor clinical. And that's obviously what you expect from a guy like Raheem Sterling, who's proven it. You know what he can bring to the table. He did it for Manchester City. And then his wingback counterpart, Christian Pulisic, he's not been much better this season. He hasn't been getting quite as many opportunities per se. However, he's been not great this season. That's why he's not getting the opportunities, because of performances like today. He even though he was playing wingback, he should have scored. He had a wide open goal. He had a great opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
And he missed. Obviously, his confidence isn't what you probably. It's not at the top of its game, and obviously that miss probably isn't
young
helping
player.
him.
He's young.
That miss obviously isn't helping his confidence in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, look, you're Christian Pulisic. You've done it for your country so many times. You can deal with pressure. Right now, he's folding under the pressure.
Facts.
It's sad. Ultimately, bro, do I think Chelsea, this is a telltale sign of things to come? No, because, Graham Potter, he's a great manager. He'll be able to figure it out. However, losing 4-1 to Brighton in any way, shape, or form is pathetic for a club like Chelsea.
Thank y'all for checking out this clip of the Shooter Straight podcast. Please like and subscribe and check out our social medias in the description box below.
Click the logo to watch more clips and check out previous episodes.